It's your boy Becam. It's your boy Becam. And I'm here to talk about Black Lives Matter. I'm here to talk about the reason behind Black Lives Matter. I'm here to talk about the song, not the movement. The song does help the movement, and I hope in a place of understanding of how things can go. But the song also addresses so much that needs, I feel, to be really heard. And this was after a vision shown to me after some prayer, and I was connecting with the Lord one day, and he took me to this place where I saw black children all over the world who were just afraid to be black. In fact, the fear for them was that they were black. That was literally what they were scared about. And then after I saw that vision, there were so many videos that popped up where kids were running from seeing the police officers in their neighborhoods, just coming around. So the reason for Black Lives Matter was to encourage us, but I want to really tackle certain lines, because certain people just thought I was being artsy-fartsy, as they said it, as I've heard. I've heard a lot of people tell me I was just being artsy-fartsy, I was just being, very artsy in some of my words, I was just being poetic. Just the poetry was just all they heard. But it was meaning behind each word. Everything that was said had meaning. And I'm gonna first address why I said Floyd Mayweather. Because everybody keeps asking me, how did you involve Floyd Mayweather in your song?
George Floyd Mayweather.
I'm guessing people might have thought because George Floyd's last name is Floyd, but it wasn't just that. George Floyd's last name being Floyd had nothing to do with me literally saying
George Floyd Mayweather.
What had me speaking on Floyd Mayweather was that George Floyd was killed May 22nd, 2020. So if George Floyd was killed May 22nd, 2020, why else would I say
George Floyd Mayweather?
Because May had to have a weather. There's a weather here now, as we are in July. We're in the end of July. And I want people to just really think about what the weather was like the day he passed away, and that day of May 22nd. It just so happened to be that there is a man called Floyd Mayweather that is a very popular boxer, and I think that's a great thing. Floyd Mayweather, I think you're one of the best boxers we have in our generation, of maybe even of all time. Another thing I wanted to address is when I said,
first off, all life matters.
I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I know to him all lives matter. So even when he gave me the song, because it was literally a song that he was downloaded into my spirit, man, as I was trying to figure out what I could say to people on my platform, I knew when he first put that out was to say he wanted us to understand that to him, all lives matter. It doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, and we know that. And we know that the black people right now, our house is on fire. We know that our house has been, but here's the thing, our house has been on fire for some time, for a long time. Our house has been on fire for so long. We need that water, we do. We need everyone to realize that Black Lives Matter. If all lives matter, we wouldn't need to say Black Lives Matter. And I agree, and I understand. But to God, all lives will always matter. John 3:16, where it says that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believed in him would be saved and they would not perish. It didn't say when God so loved the white or the Asians, leaving out black people, bringing in the brown people. No, he said the world. We are a part of this world. So I want to make that known. That's why I said
first off, all life matters.
It's not to neglect Black Lives Matter, because all people need to matter. Yes, black lives need to be known as we matter. Yeah, we should address the people that need to know that they matter too, for the sense of the God that created us, and that knowledge, to be conscious of him. That's number two. And it's something no one really needed me to say for them to understand why. But right now, the vision that I was shown was black children all over the world were crying. They were in tears and they were afraid for nothing other than the fact that they were black.
One day I had a vision about a little girl that was crying, screaming, hoping that her dad was still alive, praying that her mom would soon arrive. She was sad and feeling all alone, watching her black people scared at home.
To imagine someone being scared and terrified for nothing other than the factor of the color of their skin, just to see that they are afraid just because they are black is the issue. That in itself was the issue that I knew when the Lord showed me in the vision. And this is before the video started coming out of the kids running from seeing the cops. There's proof of black people being afraid of their skin color.
All right, this is a crazy video I want you to see. It's very simple, but it means a lot. A 10-year-old boy who's black in Connecticut was hiding from a police car, and it demonstrates in this really simple way that kids are paying attention to what's going on. So let me tell you the story. In the video, you see the kid spot the police car, okay? He's not in school because it's coronavirus. He pauses his game of basketball to hide behind this car, the cop car. The child's father says when he asked his son why he hid, the child replied, because they killed George Floyd.
I saw this vision and it broke my heart. I was in tears for some time. I was literally crying because I felt their pain. And there were so many interviews where I spoke about this that had taken place, especially on Instagram Live, where I spoke about how this vision came to be and how impactful it was in my life. So that one line of me saying,
don't be scared about that,
was for the youth, was for those who are afraid of being black right now. I want you to know that you are loved and you should have courage in this world. There is nothing in this world that can hold you back. There's nothing in this world that is set out to hurt you. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 says, for we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against spiritual wickedness in the heavenly places. Meaning that your enemy is not in the person, but it is in the spirit behind the person. That's one thing I wanted to talk about as well. The next thing I want to discuss is why I spoke about the economy in the end of both verses. In verse 1 I said,
don't be scared about that, please don't make us fight back, cause if we act, y'all don't wanna see that, the economy will never come back. Black lives matter.
When I mentioned that, it's because we are consumers. We may have rich black people and we may not have wealthy black people.
There are no wealthy black or brown people in America. We got some rich ones. We don't got no wealth. People go, oh, what's the difference? Here's the difference. Shaq is rich. The white man that signs his check is wealthy.
But at the end of it all, black people today, in today's day and age, are consumers. We are part of the consuming force. Imagine if every black person stopped trading in American dollars. We just stopped. What do you think would happen to the economy? And this is also why at the end of the second verse, I said,
if money is your security, what if we switched up our currency?
Bet you'll remember then that Black Lives Matter. So this is why I came from that perspective and I came from that place. Hope you guys have an amazing day. And this is the explanation of certain parts of Black Lives Matter. And there's a reason why I did not speak about not being able to breathe. I mean, that's what George Floyd said in his last moments. Because I want us all to keep breathing. I don't want to say I can't breathe because I don't want the next person to not be able to breathe because I couldn't breathe. I want you to keep breathing. I want you to keep living. I want you to achieve your destiny. You have grand purpose ahead of you. God has such a crazy yet amazing life ahead of you. And it's going to be a roller coaster of wonders. Trust in the Lord is all I can say. Because I have, and that's where my shift begins. You guys have a great day.
Black lives